Hello YouTube, it's Grace again, and today I'm going to be talking about collaborating. So for my Camp NaNoWriMo project of June 2016, I am collabing a story with my friend Annika, which if you've seen my videos announcing it and also my videos which I'm going to be vlogging the experience of, you'll be able to see my progress throughout that project. So in this video I'm going to be sharing some of the ways that Annika and I generated ideas as we plotted our story. So plotting ideas is very easy, especially when you're doing things by yourself generally, but it can be a bit difficult when you're collabing a project with a friend or with somebody in your family or something similar to that. So we've come up with 4 different ways in which we managed to develop ideas. So you can also use these methods if you're doing it by yourself, but we just thought these were ways especially which helped, considering the fact that we do live in separate countries for one thing, and for another thing that we are 2 people who are doing the same story, and we have to kind of agree on the sort of plot line that we are going to be going for. So the first method we had was that we developed a vague prompt or idea that we already had individually. So for me, for example, I had a prompt about a girl who was always warned that she could never trust a chimera, and that was one of my prompt ideas, for example. And I remember that we discussed it and we just threw ideas in about how perhaps it could be a Sleeping Beauty or even Rapunzel retelling, and it developed into that. Unfortunately, we didn't really feel inspired by the whole idea, so we didn't actually use it for our main story, but this was just an example. And yeah, that's what I could think. That's the only prompt I can probably think of off the top of my head. Yeah. So the next idea we had was that we created a collaborative Pinterest board of images centered around a theme. So for this, for example, you can go on my Pinterest profile and you'll be able to see writing prompt board, and then it will have the writing prompt that we selected. So for example, there is one writing prompt board road trip, and on it we had a series of images primarily showing the countries of Europe, and also some bicycles and images of maps and cultural aids and prompts. And that was our Pinterest board for road trips, and from that we kind of gained an idea of 2 best friends who are backpacking across Europe, and they decide to cycle around Europe, visiting all these different places, and then they keep on meeting this other group constantly in the places where they're going, and so it turns into a big group road trip. And that was the idea that we probably generated from that Pinterest board alone. But again, it wasn't one we were really agreeing about doing, but it was a good one to prompt. And it's good for any future ideas that either of us might have, because we don't mind sharing our boards and sharing our prompts, because everybody takes a story in their own direction. So yeah. Our third idea is that we could exchange a series of sentences. So for example, there is an academy high in the sky which sits on a group of clouds. That is one sentence. And another sentence could be, it's powered on those clouds by the power of sunlight. And then another sentence could be, sunlight is the source of all power on the planet, and so people like to abuse it. So then we could invent another sentence and another sentence and another sentence, and just keep going until we come up with a prompted idea. And the fourth idea that we came up with was more so for Annika than for me, because it's not one of my strengths but it's one of her strengths. Annika really thrives in creating characters, so she can create character profiles very easily, whereas I'm more of a random plot generator, so I just think and then something comes into my mind and I have to write it down really quickly. But she likes to create character profiles and make stories centered around those characters. So for example, Leah May is a cat sitter for a very old woman who suddenly dies. And then you create this profile that Leah May has blonde hair, that she is very soft spoken, and that she always yearns for adventure but is very cautious, like not to begin an adventure. So the story centered around her is that this mysterious woman has died and that she has left her house to Leah May, but this house is very mysterious, so Leah May needs to discover what is so important about this house, and then that's the sort of idea. So yeah. So those were our 4 ideas of generating ideas for collab projects, and again you can use them if you're doing a solo project or even if you're doing a very big collab project. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have any extra ideas about generating ideas, both when you're alone or in a collab project, please comment down below, because I'd be curious to know about how you would generate ideas in a group. And I guess I will see you in the next video. So, goodbye!